what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no playing, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! It's time in front, scores!
Few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. Obes, the up dog, and we got the J Swish back, fella. A little youth, a little fucking hop on our stride. Hey, up dog, we got the young buck back.
How are we doing? Swishy, you're across the pond right now, fella.
Where are you?
What kind of daytime is it over there?
It is actually 10 p.m. local standard, fellas, so I'm fighting off the jet lag, got my steps in early. But yeah, I'm over here in Munich for 4 or 5 days, and like Dougie McRae said in the town one time, I think he said, I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it again, and we're going to hurt some people. You know
Whose car we taking? Whose car
over here?
Whose car we taking? Whose car we taking?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I'm over here on a little bit of a mission. I don't want to, dive too much into it, but just kind of dates back to some things I got to sure up on the medical side. And yeah, man, it's good to see your guys' chins again. How we doing, boys? Newport Beach, all good?
Yeah, it's good. Fucking, besides turning the clocks, what are you back, or did we turn them back? Or last night it's like 4:30, I'm on my couch and I'm like, fuck, it's dark. I'm like, can't even stay up for the late games. Or
Try having kids, bro. It's brutal because the kids are up now at 5:30 thinking it's 6:30, and it's, fuck, you wake up and it's kind of getting light out and you're like, this is wasted daylight. I'm a golfer.
Yeah,
I like to golf in the afternoons most weekdays with you after work. You get out there, crack a couple nuggets, have a cocktail, and now it's fucking dark at 4:30. It's not perfect.
Yeah,
it's the weather's getting a little chilly, but it's the light.
You can't tee off any later now than noon, or you're up against it. Only till December 20th, then she spins back.
California problems.
And she spins back the other way. But I want to talk to you about the old DEL, the Dell League there in Germany. Great league. Always wanted to play in it. Could never get a gig. I remember talking to my agent being like, I'm looking around the league here, felt like, what's the problem here? Like, I got way more NHL games than everyone, but did you ever play in that league?
No, I played in Finnish league, a.k.a. World War Liga, and then I played in the Swiss league. No, I never played in what I call the beer league over here in Germany, but there's a lot of good teams. Red Bull Munich here is a good team. They obviously have teams like Alder Mannheim is a good team, Cologne, the Sharks, so there's a lot of good players here, and especially with the movement of not a ton of guys going over to the KHL anymore for various different reasons. I mean, there still is guys that'll go over there, Opes, but this league has beefed up over the last 2 years, and there's a lot of good players playing over here in the beer league.
Yeah, it was
tough league too, man.
That's what I thought. I thought
for lack of toughness.
I thought I had a chance. I wanted to play in Berlin. And I was like, can you get me a job in Berlin? Let's get fucking crazy. Let's get weird in Berlin. Shout out to Dallas Aikens, coaching in Mannheim. And I remember when Dally was over there last year, they had a clip of him, kind of like your clip of your last game in Switzerland, where Dally was on the ice and he was fucking. I'm like, how good are the fans over there? He's like, oh, I was blown away at how good the fans are in Europe. Like these people that are singing with the flags, AJ Swish. It's until you go over there and experience yourself, which I told Uppy, I'm like, go over there and enjoy it. The fans are unbelievable in all those leagues.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. And the Swiss fans, I would say, are the craziest. And Uppy can attest to this because he played like up on the mountain in terms of where he was at, just right near Lugano. And Uppy, you remember some of those games? And especially when I was playing in Cloton and there was these rivalry games against Zurich and whoever it would be, people would be lighting flares off in the stadium, in the stands. There'd be fire shooting up, Opes. People would be lighting off flares. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. Like, how is that not a goddamn fire hazard?
Not just sparking doobies either. Either they're fucking fireworks.
Well, you could light fireworks in our rink because they had basically an open roof. It was like a fucking outdoor rink. And it was snowing. Snow would be coming in on the ice. There'd be water on it. It was a shit show. But talking about the rival games, we would play Lugano maybe 3 times a year. And listen, all of Lugano would be up there noon, 2:00, just set up shop in this little tiny town of Ambry, and then all the Ambry fans would be there too. And it would just be like this tailgate, Swiss style, just beers, cheese, some wine, and
crackers, Fucking crackers.
Just watch some stick and puck. But it was, it's a great atmosphere. And those people, I mean, say what you say, you realize hockey's a worldwide sport when you're over there and you see just the love and the passion. That, like the little kids who speak Italian and Swiss and French, and in German over in Germany. It's amazing to see the reach that our game has over there, and it's because of the fans.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, all these reasons why is why I kind of wrote that down. Like, maybe we just jump into that question really quick. Doesn't have to be long, but do you think it would benefit the NHL to maybe be the first of the big four, try to beat the NFL or NBA and get over there?
I don't know. I'm still fucking jet lagged from the time I went over there. Now, I know this is maybe because I went all the way from Madrid all the way to LA. I don't know. But since I've been back, which was August, I haven't slept as good since. So when you're talking about West Coast teams going over there, I think when you run the risk of jet lag and I don't know. I just think maybe the East Coast teams, there's a market over there, but you can't be saying, hey, LA, Vegas, we're going to fly you 13 hours over the pond. You're going to play there for 2 weeks and come back. Because I don't think you could run the risk of, I'm still, like I said, I haven't slept as good since I'm back. You can't risk that if you're in the NHL.
No,
Guys not sleeping.
There's 81 games, 82 games. It's, you do risk that, Obes. It's a good point. And I don't think these players need the extra stress. Although, listen, a global event for our game, I think, is great. We need to find ways to get more eyes on on our star players and to be able to showcase these guys on an international level, especially with the Four Nations Cup coming up, especially with the Olympics kind of coming up. Hockey should be broadcasted all over the country and the world, and that's that's a way to get it done. But you're right, man. This sleep's important. Eh?
Break out the Ambos, AJ Swish after that. I mean, when you get home, you need a new prescription Ambos.
Oh my God, you're going muscle relaxers. Just hopefully the back doesn't lock up too when you're crossing the pond, East Coast, West Coast. It would be crazy. I mean, I just think unless there was a point where the birds got substantially faster and you could get across the pond in 2-3 hours, Obi, I just don't see it happening. I just think there's too much travel. You'd have to have at least 2 teams over there playing somewhere so they could have a little bit of a rivalry. And at that point, there's too many spots not only in the U.S., but probably Canada, you expand first to, and then you go over the pond. So at that point, what are you looking at? Maybe 36 teams, because there's going to be 2 teams probably coming into the league over the next 5 to 10 years on this side of the turf. I don't know. It just seems like it would be a lot in terms of, going over the pond and try to, make that really work.
Yeah, although it would be nice to have a couple teams in London, eh? Going into your rookie party in London. How are you? Hey, we're in London for a week. Paris, yeah, Paris too, yeah.
Milan,
pricey, getting pricey.
Yeah,
and a Euro.
Milan was such a great city. I started to really kind of get my bearings there. Actually, I had a good host who was taking me out to clubs. I had all the best restaurants. If I was just there a little bit longer, I think I could have really shined.
You're just making a little more cash too while you're over there. If you're making show dough over there, it would have been like unbelievable.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money. It was more about just that life experience.
Yeah,
that's why I tell all the guys, I'm like, no matter what you did, just get over in Europe and Switzerland and just enjoy it.
Yeah, no,
you're done. If your legs still work, like your head's still in the game a little bit, go enjoy yourself.
Yeah, Jay Swish, I don't know if you've heard this. This is my opportunity again to bury Bob Hartley once again. A lot of the longtime listeners are like, fuck, oops, here we go again. But the reason I hate him the most is he buried my deal in Lugano. I had a deal in Lugano. I can't remember the 2 coaches, both North American guys. D-Coach calls me up. He's like, hey, we need a D-man. I'm like, listen, my bags are packed. My sticks are already taped. I can fucking turnkey my condo and be on a bird tomorrow. Okay, I'll get back to you the next day. A couple, 3 days went by, Jay Swish. I was like, this has got a kind of a stank tour right now. What's going on? And then sure enough, the GM, who was a Swiss guy, called Bob, because Bob used to coach in that league. And he's like, this guy's just coming over there to party. And I remember calling the D coach and be like, buddy, if I was coming there just to party, I'm living an hour from Hollywood where the hottest chicks in the fucking planet are, and I'm dialed in up there. If I wanted to party, I'd just stay here. I'm coming to play hockey. And he's like, unfortunately, we're going to take Ryan Wilson, and I love Ryan Wilson. I play with him. I go, he's going to get hurt. I guarantee you he's going to get hurt. Sure enough, Willie, love you. Boom, got hurt a month in, Jay Swish. But that's why I hate Bob Hartley the most. Not because of what he did to me in Calgary. That was just right as head coach. If he doesn't think I'm good, fine. But don't bury a guy in Lugano on a nice little fucking retirement fucking tour, eh?
Yeah, no shit. And that guy had so much pull in the Swiss League because he loaded it up with the team one year in Zurich and they won. And when I was playing outside of Zurich, Obi, the women in Zurich, I would say not perfect, a little bit more, I would say a little bit huskier, if you will. Nothing.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Souls, but I would always find myself on the train going through Lake Como via to Milan, and there's where you find the tall brunettes. You post up in the Four Seasons lobby. You're not staying there because you can't afford it on the Swiss League, salary. But you post up, you have an Irish coffee in there. And that's a good spot to kind of just people watch. Get in the lane, find your 10 and 2, and just go low and slow in there in the lobby at the Four Seasons in Milan. It's a great city. One of my favorites.
There's some money to be made in that league, though, right? Like, aren't guys making like 500 francs or Swiss francs over there tax free? Like, how much did Winbag make over there? Probably fucking more than he made in the show if you added it all up. No, he was there for 15 years.
He was a hell of a player. I think he just retired. No, for there he was.
It's his
get the puck off.
It's his type of game. Big ice, soft
corner.
Yeah, it's perfect for old Winbag.
When he bring it to the net, but you're way over
there.
Wait,
come over here.
You're in Kansas over there. Yeah. Bring the puck to the net, fella. No, I don't know, man. I think when like Spees at the end of his career was getting offered stuff to go over, if you're a local guy, I think they'll pay to have you like that stars because they can promote you and
Yeah.
all this. But man, I don't know if they're making over like 300-400 grand. It's that would be like Jonas Hiller went over. I think he made 700. He might have been the all-time paid guy. What do you think, Swish?
Yeah, what I was hearing when I was over there, was especially during COVID, so the salaries are a little bit down. But I know like Mark Arcabello, he's been making over 500, I want to say, for the last 5, 6, 7 years. But like you said, Ups, actually the local guys are paid way more. Like a guy like Damian Brunner was making like 1.1, I believe, when he was playing in just outside of Bern on a team there in BL. So there is a lot of dough to be made. I mean, those bigger clubs like Zurich and Lugano, they'll pay. But actually those guys that are the Swiss locals actually end up making more. Yes, they are taxed. But I would say the imports kind of range from anywhere from 200 to 500, and then maybe a lower level import would be like 120 to 150 type deal.
Yeah, that's where I was making down the 120. Say, well, the 100 prorated. I'm like, this is not fucking worth it. But I will tell you this: if there's any fellas out there that are riding the bone rattler, as Jay Swiss says, if you're playing the American League or the Coast, when you go over to Europe, and Jay Swiss, you could probably attest to this. Careful where you start, because you can't really work your way up over there, right? Like if you start, let's say, like I did in Finland. It's really hard to go to Sweden, Switzerland, or the KHL, right? Like, if you start the KHL, you can hit, like my boy Derek Smith, he hit every league on his way out. Like, he went KHL, Swiss, Sweden, see ya, kicked out of the fucking whole country or whatever. But, like, it's hard to go back up, you know what I mean?
Let me jump in there, Swishy, before that. It's important, if you are in that moment of your career, that you make a decision early. Like, it's tough to go if you've already been to an NHL camp and you're sitting around. It's easy to go if it's like April or May of your last year and you just go, listen, I'm done. I'm going to Europe. Then all those teams are placing their teams together and they're doing it in like June. So they want you over there in July. It sucks. Ruins your summer. It'll be horrendous.
Yeah, can't do it.
But if you make your decision in May or June and you let everyone know in Switzerland, I'm talking to all the boys out there who maybe are at that point in your career. If you make that decision early, those teams, they'll reach out, hit me up. I can place you. I got a good agent over there. My boy helped me. Svensson, he's the man over there. So anyway.
Svensson,
yeah,
Svensson, good guy.
He's a good German kid. He's a good, he's Swiss German, I think. But listen, it's important to make the decision early because, as you know, tough to get placed when their teams are all set up.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to echo on what Uppy said there in terms of you got to get to a good league.
You got to get to a good league.
So if you start off in Sweden, the KHL, maybe they're not as good of teams as some of these other leagues are offering you at a lower league level, but get to a good league, play well, and that way you can kind of stay. Because if you have to fall down one peg, okay, maybe you're falling from the Swiss league or Sweden now to Germany, you're on a good club. But to say if you start in, no offense, Austria and some of these lower level leagues, you might be in the fucking fish and chips by no time, and that's the British league. And all of a sudden, you're back in your shit, and you're playing in a men's league back home, 12 months later. So you got to be cognizant of what you're picking. And like Uppy said, go early. The 8-week camp sucks, but if you can lock in your spot, just battle the first year, put up good numbers, now you have a little wiggle room to play with.
Yeah, and if you're down the jungle, and like, listen, we all want to play in the NHL, right? Like, it's just hard to do it. Like, don't overstay in the jungle and give up spots over there. Because lifestyle, and then like you said, if you establish yourself over in Europe as one of these good import players playing in the KHL or Swiss League or Sweden, fuck, you can stay there like Winbag for 15 years instead of, playing in Bakersfield or fucking Albany. Like, it's a no-brainer to me. It's a good living over there. That's where I'm going. It's a really good lifestyle. You're treated like a pro. You're the only show in town, and you're not playing in front of like 200 people in Cleveland on a Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing worse than that. But one last thing about Europe, Jay Swish. I was watching, shout out to the Florida Panthers, Dallas Stars. They had a couple good games over there. We're going to get that and get this guy a beer. But Reinhardt, they put the old gold helmet on him, fella. And I remember when I went over there, I was fat, I was slow, I was fucking in one. And I'm like, you're going to tell me that they're going to put a gold helmet on the guy that leads the league or leads your team in scoring? I'm like, well, that made my job a lot easier. I'm just going to focus on making this guy's life miserable. I think it's stupid. I thought Reinhardt did a hell of a job putting it on for fun, but even he was like, gold helmet? I don't understand why they want to do that. The fans know. Just to me, it's like, as an old school guy, I know the game's changed, but I'm like, man, you're going to let me know this guy's wearing the gold domer out there? I'll fucking cross-check him all night.
100%, and especially that guy was an import too. Now he's got more eyes on him. Guys are hacking him, whacking him. A lot of stick work, especially in the Swiss League, as Uppy would know. But yeah, man, I just think it's hilarious. Also, though, Obi, I want to counter you on that. I think it's kind of nasty style. If you're leading the team in points and you put that gold bucket on and you're in warm-ups and you're looking around in that tiny little mug, you look pretty good in the glass, fella. You go over, get a little water, look around, take it off, tell the trainer, hey, wipe my Windex off a little bit here, and then go back out there, go bar down, get off the ice, and all of a sudden, you got some eyes on you. I like a little extra eyes. When it's showtime, it's kind of nice.
Probably helps you get laid more, right?
Just give him a gold cup. Just a big old fucking fat gold cup to wear around his wrench. I mean, listen, you're going to promote these guys. These guys, it's filthy. What if me and you, Oves, were going back and forth every game? You get 2 points. I got to slide you my dirty bucket. I guess better than sliding the jock.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
On there. How's that?
That's true. I don't know if you had to reuse the bucket or not. Yeah. Yes, you do.
We had one bucket. Maybe. No, it was one fucking
one helmet. So you got to spray that fucker down and hand it over to the next guy.
Yeah.
When I was in Finland.
From Mike Flynn back to anyway.
We had this young little Finnish guy that had the whole. I only went over there for half the year, but he had such a lead that he had the whole entire year. And sometimes I'll flip on the World Championships, and he's still playing for Finland. Number 65. I can't even attempt to say his name. I'll butcher it. But he had the bucket the whole year. I've never thought about that. You start the season early off, and you guys are swapping in and out. It's like, come on, fella. But listen, boys, we are under 100 days to Four Nations Cup. I wanted to tie that all in with that. And Jay Swish, it just worked out that you're over in fucking Munich. I didn't even know that. But that helped us with our little segue into the old Europe League over there. Halloween. First year I didn't dress up. I'm officially done with Halloween, I think, until maybe if I ever have kids. But don't hold your breath on that. Jay Swish, I was dying, bro, at your fucking outfit. You and Heat Daddy with the old school roller fucking skates on. You had your all-star jersey on, the visor. I mean, first of all, was there any talent at that fucking roller skate? And by the way, it was hilarious.
No, I mean, first of all, that Skateland Mesa is in the absolute hood. You gotta check your Desert Eagle pistol at the door when you walk in there. You get a full pat down. But yeah, we went over to Texas Roadhouse, Obi, and we sat down in the full gear. We had the cinnamon butter with the buns. We had, Heat Daddy got the ribs. It was hilarious. I got some steak that was, tougher than a $2 steak, they say, and that's exactly what it was. But yeah, it was hilarious. We had the whole staff in on it. Me and Heat Daddy actually ended up fake fighting outside. We had the cameraman rolling. It was all time. We had the whole restaurant in on it. People were asking us, do you guys actually play hockey? Because it's in Mesa, which is basically, North Tijuana. So these people are looking at us like, who are these assholes? These middle-aged assholes that are 32 years old, decked out with their fight straps tied down, gear on. So, yeah, that video for the Halloween special will be dropping on our Hockey Night in Scottsdale here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But, yeah, it was all time, Opes.
Oh, fuck. I watched your guys get the chin thing, too. I watched the start of your YouTube thing. It's fucking hilarious. You, pretending like you're the coach, explaining to him, and he's like, okay, well, do you tighten your core or do you get the elbow up? I'm like, these guys are too much, man. It's too much. But entertaining, my man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's the how to find the chin like Jacob Trouba. And yeah, we were like, Heat Daddy, I'm like, stay on your feet, set your core, and then finish low with your chin tucked. He then just dives head first at him and just chicken wings the dummy. And I'm like, that was good, and you could actually be able to get away with that because it looked like you just lost an edge.
Yeah,
so that was it was pretty good, man. It was we had a lot of fun doing that.
It was nicely shot too. Whoever your producers were, camera guy, well done. It looks National League, and you two guys are fucking beauties. But Updog, how was your Halloween, buddy? You had the Star Wars or whatever? Is that what you guys had? Yeah. Fucking right.
Yeah, I had Luke Skywalker, my little guy. He was buzzing around.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a good little Luke Sky. He had his sword, and he was loving it.
Who comes up with that idea? Is he or?
No, listen, we have now probably 30 or 40 costumes tucked away in a little treasure chest because Christina orders them and just is like, this will work for either us or another family who needs it. And that's just kind of the way of the road with when you have kids. But Izzy was Princess Leia. Christina was a stormtrooper. She looked good, gotta say. Nice mask on her. And then
did you guys take the costumes into the bedroom? Or I was hey,
Luke,
you might as well mix it up a little bit. Use Halloween for a reason.
Yeah, fuck, why not? You take every chance you can get. But no, it was great. We did our block, man. It's a great little family neighborhood. Our boy Joe DeMarco was there. Burke and Elaine, Tim Smith and his wife. It was a great little thing.
Yeah,
Halloween is fun when you have kids because you only have to go out for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you just get to see them have fun and do this. And then you just get to go home and eat a little candy, watch some sports, and they go to bed all fired up.
There was a fucking party in Manhattan Beach that I wish I would have been at. I can tell you that right now. I don't know whose party that was, but fuck was I jealous. It was all over my feed and people I know there, and they were raging, sick tunes, and it was good, huh? It looked to be a time. It looked to be a time.
I still think we keep our options open, head on a swivel in case one of those parties.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't count us out yet.
We're not down and out yet, but boys, on a serious note, Movember here. I want to give some love to my boy Johnny Kernuk, Team Nuclear. Over 15 years, they've raised $1.6 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So Johnny Kernuk, good on you. He's got He's already got the John Dutton duster. I don't do Movember, boys. I never have. I always donate. I'm going to donate to Johnny Carnook's Team Nuclear this year. So get out there. If you're not growing the duster, donate for a great cause. Obviously, prostate cancer. Did you ever grow the duster? I know the Updog didn't either, but did you ever grow the duster out for Movember?
Oh, yeah, I would always, especially right around mid-November, I would get the Just for Men Jet Blackout, and I would actually make it even darker than the shade of my hair actually is. So, yeah, man, Just for Men, maybe a little Sharpie back in the college days just to really fill it in. I loved it, man. I loved everything about the duster. And sometimes if I was on a heat here on the sheet, I would leave it into December as well, just to say, hey, maybe I'm riding this thing well.
How were you doing off the ice, though? I know you're playing well on the ice. How were you doing off the ice?
Well, I was restricted at the time, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
It was just free must-dress for my gal. So kind of that. If you're a single guy and an unrestricted free agent, it's way different.
Yeah, it is. It is. I actually, Updog, I shaved the other day, and I was like, I left it there, and I said, Mac Miller, what do you think? Like, and she kind of went, I'm like, I can't do it. Shaved it off. I just not, it's brutal.
Big Scott used to have a mustache.
Pitter had one too.
All my old photos of like him, like on the bench, the hockey squads, just a thick duster.
Yeah.
And I cannot, like,
no. You got the nice goatee, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could grow the goatee.
Yeah, but even that's all gray and fucking just hair here, hair there. It's not perfect.
I tell you what, if you get some time, check out Radagudis' mustache he's got going right now. He looks even more. By the way, that guy's just dangerous out there on the ice. He's just fucking dangerous, man.
Slow down out there.
Holy Christ. I watched him play the other night. Well, they lost against the Hawks. When was that, 2 nights ago? But he's just, nobody's safe. His own teammate, refs, puck's not safe. Nobody's safe.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone on edge.
Yeah, it is. So, Movember, boys, if you're growing a mustache, good on you. If not, donate to a great cause. Boys, we had some news here. The match, Updog. I was thinking about you here. The match.
Sick.
Listen to this star-studded cast. Bill Murray, Mark Wahlberg, Barkley, 99, Phelps, Eskimo Brothers, Nate, no idea who that is, Ken Griffey Jr., and Uppy's boy, Blake Griffin. This is going to be must-see TV, buddy. And then we also got the one between Rory and Scotty Scheffler versus Koepka and Bryson, which will be in December at Shoutout Creek.
It's at Shoutout Creek. This one's out in West Palm Beach, so a little track out in Florida. A little inside scoop, man. I played in a great golf tournament yesterday. Shout out to Billy Bush from Extra and Andrew McGinnis, two absolute beauties. We played in this tournament at Riv, Obes. You and fucking Riv is so sick. But Legends on the Links. It was a Ron Dato Foundation, Old Orange SC, University of SC. Baseball guy. He's an absolute legend. It was for a great cause, but I got to putt off against Blake Griffin, and he's got a good stroke.
How tall is that fucker?
He's big, but
6'6" or what?
He's lean. He's at least 6'6". I mean, he's like he's a freak, right? Like
he's got a decent kill count.
Yeah,
and like high quality.
But I think without some injuries, like he was a nasty, like,
oh yeah, he could jump out of the gym when he first got in there.
Totally. So, but I watched his putting stroke, and he plays a ton of golf. Him and his boy Chandler Parsons, who's an absolute beauty. But I don't know, man. If him and Gretz get together, that might be
Is that the team?
I don't know. I actually don't know the format. I just love it. Like Bill Murray and Wahlberg, I had Barkley. Like there'll be some good jokes. We've obviously played with Gretz, so we kind of know what his humor is like. It's going to be must-see TV. I can't wait.
Yeah, his putting stroke's buttery Gretz, so I think it'll be unbelievable. Anything like that, I think such a great idea with these. Last but not least, boys, on our little intro here, Tom Brady was on the wheels. Shout out to Ty Domi, that beauty. Swiss, I'll turn it over to you first. He had unbelievable style. Like, he had the Bowers head to toe. I'm like, this guy looks like a player. And his stride wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, listen, there's potential there. He could join a fucking beer league and hang in there, him and J.J. Watt.
He looked okay, Obi, right? His style was good. He had the tongues out. He was rocking the new school Bauer skates, the Vapors. He looked good head to toe. The only thing I was kind of seeing, I mean, sit back in the rocking chair a little bit.
Yeah, trust it.
You got your chin over shin while you're skating. Just trust it. Sit back on the chair. They teach you that in the old school hockey camps and the skating sessions, right, Obi? When you're a young kid, you go, hey, sit back, fella. You know what I mean? Your chin is over your shin right now. So, yeah, I think he looked decent for a first or second time skater, whatever he is. I mean, he's out there with Ty Domi, so it was cool to see him on the sheet, though, and it looked like he was having fun.
That was one of the most human things you could possibly see, right? Like,
yeah.
You see Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowls, a guy that, yes, wasn't athletic at the University of Michigan when he tried to run the 40 back in the day, but wow, turned into one of the, the most decorated athletes of all time. And just how human something could be and how foreign it feels. Like a guy should be able to lace up anything, put anything in his hands and do it at a pretty exceptional rate, but no, fuck no. You're holding on to a chair,
Yeah.
pushed around, you're getting chirped by Ty Domi, and you have a visor on for some reason. So I'm like, there's just so much with this that's hilarious,
Yeah.
but it's great that people can understand it, just how cool it is to skate alone and play hockey.
Yeah, I was like, he went to Michigan, but he grew up in California. So I was like, I got to cut him some slack. The first thing I thought was, good for him. He's choked the Ty put it out. I guess he didn't know the Ty was going to put it out.
Okay. It's
So Ty, you're a beauty.
yeah.
First thing I thought is, like, if I was Tom Brady, the last thing I would be doing is skating. Like, I don't know, I'd be doing fucking a million other things, right? But I mean, I would just be probably on my yacht or whatever, doing, playing, on my jet skis or something. But I mean, as we know about him, he wants to conquer everything. So this is probably something that he's like, listen, I'm going to learn how to skate. I'm going to do this, right? Everything else he's done, he's figured out. But he's got some work to do. But at least he's out there giving her.
No, I
give him credit.
How do you think his body felt the next day?
Probably all right, because he wasn't really getting into it. Like, he was just kind of
losing some muscles.
Yeah, I know.
He hadn't used since.
You're probably right.
He had some young ones in the sack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I'd be doing if I was Tom Brady. I wouldn't be skating. I'd be fucking working. I'd be working everything else in the goddamn world now that he's single. But Ty, you're a beauty, Tom. Good on you, boys. We'll be right back. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, boys. Dog of the week, Jay Swish. I know you're gonna love this one. Shout out to our boy Garrett the Hammer Wilson. I believe Princey put on Missin Curfew right away. I knew Hammer was still down in the jungle in Lee Valley. He's the captain, squaring off at center ice, going absolutely toe-to-toe. Listen, I loved playing with this kid. He's an absolute beauty. He should have had a longer NHL career than he did, fellas. But to see him down there, Jay Swish still chucking, I had to give the Hammer, the dog of the week, fella.
Oh, he looks so nails, too, especially just throwing down in Springfield, of all places, on a Saturday night in the Thunderdome, they were calling it. I mean, it was all time. I talked to Hammer after the game, and he was pissed that they cut the clip a little bit short on AHL TV, because he actually told the kid, no, meet me right here in the center dot. We're squaring up. We're going toe-to-toe right at center ice, and it was awesome. It's like he just dragged him out right out front of the bar. No, we're not doing it in the alleyway. You're coming right out front to the front patio, and he just unloaded on that kid. In all seriousness, the Hammer, he's played 90-odd NHL games. Obi, he's a captain down there. He's on an American League deal. He has so much respect from those young kids. It would be really cool if Keith Jones and Danny Briere, maybe at the end of the season, if they were out of a playoff position, to give the old Hammer just one game, just because he's just leading men. He's pretty poison to men down there, and the way he just controls that room, brings the old school toughness. I just think that would be a nice little gesture to a guy that means a lot to that organization.
That would be classy, but you know how it works, and I love Jonesy and DB, but it's like, we got to give this young kid a shot, right? Like, we're out of the playoffs. Let's see how this young kid can do. Like, I hope that happens, but it's just like, even when Jason Demers was down in Bakersfield, they gave him one game, I think, to get him to whatever, 750 or whatever he got to, 700, which was classy. But I'm with you. If the Flyers are going to be out, which looks like they're going to be, why not give the Hammer an opportunity?
Jason Demers wasn't doing that.
No.
I respect this guy. I play with him. The way he's still at this age, just going in and fucking fighting these young kids, you would have to just be like, this is the guy we want, showing my young kids in the NHL what to do. And for a spark, why not bring him up? It's a good point, too. It's like, you know what? Jump in your car, drive 45 minutes up to Philly, and go do some work. Like this, you deserve it. You're fucking down here busting your balls like this. All of us old guys, Obes, I call us old, but all of us respect that type of guy in the minors doing that. We question why sometimes, but we respect it. And fuck, man, it's pretty amazing. So
it's better, like they say in Bull Durham, it's better than working at Sears. You know what I mean? Like, you're still playing, and
good for him, man.
And he's such a great teammate. And you know what? The year I played him in San Antonio, like, I thought he was going to go on and have a pretty good NHL career. And for whatever reason, we talk about this a lot on Missin Curfew. Like, you need a bounce here or there. And for whatever reason, Hammer didn't get it. But for him to still be chucking him down there, Jay Swish, I love the Hammer. I had so many great nights with him on the road. We had a great one in Des Moines, Iowa. Actually, real great night. So, yeah, Hammer, love you, buddy. You're my Missin Curfew. Dog of the week.
I'm going to throw out some love to a new guy. I'm sure you can find this guy on Pornhub. But Ryan Lomberg, I mean, in town in Calgary, he just grabs this Bastian. They were kind of chirping each other, but he grabs him and he pumps him with about 8 lefts before Bastian could even...
Yeah, I like
what the hell was going on.
He's such a great kid, too. We got to meet him a couple years ago with Frosty.
I look at this and I'm just like, it's either punched or be punched.
Yeah, no, it is.
And Ryan Lomberg got the best of it, but it's not what he did in the fight or in the game. And we all know how big of a fucking dog this guy is. He's the dog of the week almost every week. But his interview after with the boys, he came out in little nut huggers, no tarp on. He's just shredded. It like if if you get caught scrolling through Pornhub, like I said earlier, you're gonna find this guy somewhere in there. He's just jacked, just ripped. I mean, did you catch the post gamer after where he's just letting her fly in banana hammock on?
He looked like a fucking caveman, boys.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Did he just come off doing a push-up pyramid or like 225 on the bench right up to Hockey Night in Canada talking to Scott Oak? Because, oh my God, he had just testosterone flowing through those veins. He was fucking just buffed up. Yeah, I mean, that guy he don't miss an arm.
He looked like Metcalf.
He was fucking jacked, wasn't he?
I mean, his specimen.
Fuck, what do you think he weighs? $185 or how much is he? How much does he weigh?
I don't know. Horn included or no horn?
Oh, I don't have to see. I'd have to see him in the shower. I'd have to see him in the shower to see what he's swinging around. But I will say this: if I'm Sheldon Keefe, I take note, and that's why you got to have the big McDermott train in the lineup, especially when you're going through Western Canada. If you don't want to play him when you're playing fucking the New York Rangers because Reppy's down, that's fine. But when you're going through fucking God's country there, through Western Canada, you have the big McDermott train on the ice. And I feel that if this would have happened, Lundberg would have thought twice before he just started the lawnmower on this kid because he knows the big fucking McDermott train, eh? Or what do you call McDermott?
Oh, I forget what I tweeted out. Yeah, Curtis left and right McDermott.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, if McDermott's on the ice, who knows what happens? But Lundberg, I mean, he hit him with so many lefts. Bastian was begging for the right, boys. Like, he had no business being in that in terms of just like he hit him with a stunt grenade. So yeah, that was awesome to see. My dog of the week, boys, is Kyle Connor. Right now, he looks like B-Rabbit from 8 Mile with that shiner he got. He took a hit from Kucherov behind.
He's got a good shiner.
Right now, he's got a great shiner. He looks like he's straight out of a trailer park in Detroit. He is a Michigan kid. 9 tucks in 12 games to start the year. 9 points in the last 4 games. That was last week. So I just wanted to give him a little love. I know he's a superstar, but man, he just makes those Winnipeg Jets go up there, and all he does is tuck. So that is my dog of the week, baby.
I love it. You could put the whole win. 11-1, boys. 11-1. I hammered them tonight. They're at home against the hockey club. The hockey club has fallen into my bad books a little bit, boys. I loved them to start the game, and ever since they lost that one to San Jose, I don't know if it's tough love, but I just
kind of
the hockey club
kind of banged up.
Yeah,
kind of not like.
I know. Their D's they really miss Marino and Dursey. They really miss that. But I just want to go back to Uppy's dog of the week with Lundberg, and this guy's got a Stanley Cup champion. He played great last year. Everything he's done in Calgary, they love him. But like I look at Dylan on the back end, like you lose that game 3-0. How does Lundberg get out of that game with not having to fight you anyways, right? Like he fucking makes a mockery of your fourth line guy who's not a fighter. You're down 3-0. How does he get out of there without somebody else fucking grabbing him? Like to me, I didn't understand that. When I saw it, I was like, oh, somebody must have grabbed him. And I looked, I'm like, oh, McDermott didn't play. But just looking at their lineup again, I like Brendan Dillon.
Yeah.
But to me, he's a guy, switch dog. You got to grab that Lundberg. You're losing 3-0, game's over. Grab that kid. And I know it's not a conference game, and you're only going to see him one more time. To me, as an old school guy, I had a bitter taste in my mouth because that was Lundberg fucking being like, hey, boys, and went off the ice fucking doing the Hulk Hogan and fucking getting the dome going, which I love. But, like, come on, man. Someone grab this fucking kid. He's what is he, 5'8"? It's not like it's, Brian McGrattan back in the day.
Yeah, he's 5'9", 5'10", maybe 5'11", standing on the phone book. Yeah, but, I mean, I think you're right, Obi, in terms of you got to do something because you send a message. Yes, you only play each other 2 times a year, but, moving forward and years going forward, I think, the next time Lundberg, if he has to answer to Dylan there, he's thinking about that. Maybe not making that hit. Maybe not jumping a guy like Bastian after that hit. So, yeah, you make a good point. And I just want to know if Lundberg, did he go tarps off right to Cowboys after? Because that probably would have been a parlay. Like,
fuck, if he was single, he should have, but I don't think he's single. But if you were single, you go right to Cowboys with tarp off and have your pick of the litter, eh?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you're looking at a couple of fake sets, and all of a sudden 1942 comes out, and it's, hey, how are you?
You know who's kind of sticking it to me this year in Calgary is Anthony Mantha. He's actually playing pretty good for a big pussy, but he's actually playing not bad. Like he's helping their squad up there. I'm pulling for the Flames too. I was so hard on them early, and then they got off that great start, 5-0. Yeah. Then they went on a road trip and only got, I believe, 1 point on the road, but they're hanging in there. And I don't know, up dog. I mean, Tyson Berry's out there wearing number 8. I'm kind of pulling for. Don't tell Princey. Fuck, I'm kind of pulling for him.
Well, they should take advantage of when like McDavid's out, right? Like they lose a tough one to Edmonton, but you got to find wins before the dog days hits. It's Calgary. It's going to hit Winnipeg. Let's be honest. It's going to hit Winnipeg at some point. It's fucking going to get blizzard in there. You're not going to be able to walk in the streets. You got to take those underground tunnels. It's not perfect. That's when the fucking losses. So right now,
they might already have a playoff spot clinched by then.
That's good. They're going to have to before
The dog days have already hit in Calgary. The dog days don't stop there. They're just you just embrace it. Like you and listen. There's so many Missin Curfew fans up there, boys. It's not personal, right? Like, listen, I'm just saying, like, you gotta it's not so much the city as it is the barn, right? Like the Calgary city is great. I used to love going down there the road. You talk about Cowboys, just the fucking boom. You guarantee that we were going to probably beat them, and then I was going to go to Cowboys when I was a Canuck. But that's that rink, man. That rink grinds on you. So you wake up and it's fucking freezing, and you drive in your GMC truck, and you get there, and you park outside, and you get out, and you're freezing, and you get in the rink, and the lounge sucks, and there's nowhere. There's nowhere to have breakfast, and the room's tiny, and you go in the rink, and the ice is fucking shit, and the fucking glass sucks, and then it's like, man, there's no good days. So I'm just saying,
I kind of like
it's not going to get any worse.
Playing in the Saddle Dome though.
Yeah,
I was an Alberta boy.
Yeah,
but fuck. Is it? Yeah, it's miserable sometimes.
They need a new barn, and they got one coming, thank God, because the city. The city's it's a good city. Let's be honest, it's a good city. Like, it's better than Edmonton.
A hot tub in there?
Fuck no, hot tub in the room. Fuck, not that I remember. No,
nothing.
No.
Did you grab the granola?
We had a steamer because I knew we used to have we'd have some cold beer, some blue lights after games back there. Me, Joey McDonald, Stage.
So yeah,
a couple guys. We had a steamer. And I think we had a hot tub, cold tub in the trainer facility, but I stayed clear of that because fucking Bob Hartley's back there peacocking, and someone was probably looking for me to do some kind of extra workout or something. I'm like, I'm staying clear of that fucking area. You know what I mean? But it's the barn, Jay Swish. Like, you remember when Weegsy signed with the Flames and they posted a pic of the room? I was like, tough look.
Yeah, it looks like an absolute janitor's closet. Yeah. Hopefully, at least the shitter had a door on it. But do you remember that practice?
Tiny shitters, man. Tiny
single ply though. Single ply, not perfect.
The ducks applied, your knees are touching just whatever, steel, iron.
Your balls are dipped in the water. It's just a tiny little.
And you remember when you were an away team ups when you went in there and you'd have to practice at that practice rink was basically on the rodeo ground.
Oh, yeah. We would have to practice there, too.
Walk up the bus ramp and it's all icy and you're like going to fucking fall and you're carrying your sticks on you're carrying your skates on a stick. Like, what was that?
And the boards were this high. You could hardly hop over them. And it did smell like cow shit in there. They got rid of that place, as someone told me. But talking about the worst toilet paper in the league, it was early in my career. Remember the Anaheim Ice? We had two shitters at Anaheim Ice, and they were just awful. And the toilet paper in there I just remember being like, this
might as well wipe it with my fingers.
Like, this can't be NHL here. This is the toilet paper we're using in the National League.
Someone passed me the Journal, the Wall Street Journal. I got better.
Throw me the paper towel that we used to dry your hands. It was just like, and then I went to Tampa. I was like, oh, this is a lot better. This is a lot more.
Remember the boys leave a couple magazines in there?
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple.
Stat packs in there. Stat packs.
Wiping your ass with the Anaheim Herald.
But listen, Cowtown, the good city, time for a new rink. It's coming. I'm pulling for those boys. So that was the Missin Curfew Dogs of the Week. DraftKings, baby, presented by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Boys, DraftKings bets NFL Week 9 recap. How'd we do? Do we have lots of skin? I kind of took a step back this week, but you go ahead up since you have some games.
I got back in the mix, Obes. I did. I didn't bet a lot. I woke up Saturday. I took the little man to the golf course, a little Muni up the street, Obes. It's great for him. But in there, they got this original pizza place, TVs everywhere. So I walked in. I had a pint with the little guy. We had some pizza, and it was my teaser weekend. A lot of teasers.
Yeah.
I had the Eagles, Indy teaser. That hit. Baltimore, massive bet. I was texting with Loops early in the day, and he's like, I just have a feeling Balti, like, tough loss last week. I just have a feeling they're going to fucking come out just buzzing. And it was a beat down. Cincinnati, Balti, teaser, that hit. And then, boys, just talking about this KC game last night. What an incredible football game. You have Mahomes go down. You have Kareem Hunt basically run the ball every play for the last quarter and a half, and he was a beast. And then Patty Mahomes to DeAndre Hopkins now. This duo is on fire. And Mahomes just playing hurt. It just goes back to, like, why the best are the best. In situations where, like, he probably could have went off, fucks his ankle up. He stays in the game. It's raining. Fights adversity, gets to overtime, has the most methodical overtime fucking, stretch I've seen in modern football days in my day watching it. It was just methodical. They are the team to beat. Wow. and it was just an incredible football game.
That Kareem Hunt runs it like he doesn't get anything less than like 3 or 4 yards. He rarely gets stuffed. He ended up. Listen, boys, I took the Falcons on the money line against the Cowboys. Cowboys are so in one. Even Dak Prescott got caught on the sideline being like, "We fucking suck." I'm like, "Ooh, that's tough." And then this is the dumbest bet of bets. I took Kansas City minus my money line, boys, at minus 440. I was sitting there, Jay Swish. Mac Miller was there. I was trying not to like let on exactly how dumb of a fucking bet this was. And Baker Mayfield, who I love, he tried to make it hurt on me. How they didn't go for 2? When they didn't go for 2 and it came down to the coin flip and you saw in Baker Mayfield's eyes, he's like, "Fuck, this is over." But thank God they won that game. That is just a stupid bet by me, but it paid off, Jay Swish.
I did the exact same thing as you, because how do you bet against the Chiefs? I think I got it at minus 435.
Yeah.
I bet on that too, and I was absolutely sweating it out on the bird because I couldn't watch it. I was on United, not Delta. Delta is obviously the only one that has the live TV, so I'm sweating it out, refreshing my ESPN app, trying to load it in terms of the game on the ESPN app. I can't even watch it, but yeah, I was sweating that one out. And boys, do you like Travis Kelsey going to a concert in Indianapolis the night before a Monday night tilt, as long as he's home at a decent hour? Did you think that's kind of a distraction? I was like indifferent to it, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. Like, is it rock star to go to your Birds concert and then go to a game?
Fucking lame.
That's what I thought too.
Listen, I rip Kelsey all out. Travis Kelsey used to be my favorite guy in the league because I had heard some rumblings about his off-field activities that kind of lined up to the way I used to like to. He was single, he was going out, he was having a good time. Some people I know had partnered with him. I heard some rumblings from some other people that he was just a guy's guy off the field. And then he gets this Taylor Swift thing, which I thought was all just this big fucking hoax. And then I see him at the Super Bowl, and they're like kissing and hugging and loving. I'm like, oh, well, he loves her. So I was like, I was wrong, Updog. I was wrong. But however, I still don't think there's any need. I know you're flying private. You fly in the night before. Just stay home. She has a million other fucking concerts. You can catch another time. I mean, they have a good thing going right now. Don't risk any kind of distraction, in my opinion.
So I was just going to say, it all falls on the fact that you're like a 7-0 team and you got eyeballs all over you. It's different if you got like a concert coming through town and it's a local band and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go over there, catch a few songs, stay like with my hat on low and chill. Then like you're home in bed. It's whatever. That's the way I used to play my game. But this now is like every eyeball's on you. You got to jump on the bird. You're coming back. You're at the FBO. Everyone's going to talk about it. And just, it's only going to cause issues. If you drop a ball late in the game, it's because you went to the fucking concert.
Yeah.
If you tear your groin in the first half, it's because you went to the concert. It's just, there's too much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
What you exactly said, she's going to play a million other shows. You're right. Night before a game, if it's Thursday night.
Exactly.
Fine.
Friday night even. I'll give you Friday night.
But not the night before.
Yeah. It's just, come on, man. Just sit at home in your mansion, put your feet up, watch the Sunday Nighter, have a nice meal, rub one out because Taylor's not there. Don't go to
KC Live. Catch the Sunday night.
Imagine Kelsey walked in KC Live. Well, it only goes off like that, boys, when there's an actual Chiefs game. But yeah, maybe go down to KC Live, grab some barbecue, get out of there.
Have a couple Jagers, and then just make your way home.
Yeah, I'm with you, Swish. I just think, listen, and he's whatever. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings. He's made a gazillion money. He's dating the most famous girl in the world. He obviously knows what he's doing. But you're asking me as an old school player who did a lot of dumb stuff when I played, there's no reason for you to fly there to watch your girl show in Indianapolis before a Monday Nighter.
It just, to me, it just seems like a sideshow. It's like you want the publicity, you want the PR stunt of you kind of going in. There's going to be cameras there. You're dating Taylor Swift. But yeah, Obi, you mentioned that, and it just kind of brings me back to the old Slapshot quote from Denny Lemieux. He love her. He tell me
He love her.
Tell me.
You have a big cock like a horse. Does he love her? Yeah, he tell me he love her. You're right. You're right. She's bullshit. Well, me and him are the only decent people in this bar. She's just scrapping. Why should she give a fuck what anyone thinks? It's one of my favorite scenes of that whole movie, man. It's unbelievable.
Fucking hey, they're hanging out at the Aces. Reg is just knocked up.
He's like, typically I'd take you out to the Aces, but I got a bounty on a guy's head tomorrow, and if I don't get some shutout, I'm going to get fucking maimed out there.
Oh, fuck. That is all time.
Yeah, boy. So Stafford and his wife dressed up as Taylor Swift and Kelsey at the U.S. Open. Remember when Kelsey had that hat on? And I thought that was a great little, in the same league, dressed up as a guy that's in your league. I thought that was kind of a good little, like, fucking maybe a jab or maybe just like, Staff's a beauty. And by the way, he's slinging it. Watch out for the LA Rams, man. They went into the Seahawks and beat A-Halls and Jackson Seahawks. They're getting healthy. If you're looking for DraftKings bets, I like betting them the rest of the way, man.
I threw at 250. Let me just tell you the odds I got him after last week's game because it's pretty amazing. It is. I got them boys at. Or sorry, let me just tell this while we're.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, boys, while you're looking that up, I had a 7-game parlay on Sunday in the National League. 7-game parlay. I hit my first 5. Rangers beat the Islanders. Jets beat the Lightning. Bruins beat the Kraken. Hurricanes beat the Capitals. And the Minnesota Wild, by the way, played an unbelievable game. Shout out to Story, the goalie. He stood on his fucking head. The game should have been 10-1. Yeah. They won 2-1. And who are my last 2 teams I got, boys? I got the Flames at home against the Oilers and the fucking Ducks at home against the Hawks. Before the games even started, I was like, I have 0% chance to hit this parlay. And sure enough, Ducks were down 2-0 before I knew it. Oilers, and there goes the old 7-legger parlay. So, fuck, it was boys, it was 250 to win 18,000.
And you get 5 out of 7. You hit 5 out of 7.
I hit 5 out of 7, and my last 2 were Oilers. Oh. No, my last 2 were Flames at home against the Oilers. No 97.
Yeah.
And then I thought Ducks, Blackhawks are playing back to back. They fucked me. I'm gonna get in my milk carton. Ducks had just a piss poor effort, but boys, I was that close, but I had that feeling of I got no chance.
So I just back to the Rams, Obes. On October 25th, so last week before Halloween, I took them to win their conference for plus 4,000. So I put 250 to win 10,200 to win their conference. I just thought now they're getting healthy.
It's that conference is wide open.
Right? It's
wide open. Right
Stats
here.
Feeling it.
Arizona Cardinals are leading it right now. They're 1 game back. Your LA Lambs, as Chris Butler used to call them, but LA Rams are 1 game back. LA St. Louis Lambs used to call them. They're 1 back. Niners are 4-4. Seahawks are 4-5. That's a good bet ups with great odds, man.
Is the conference mean like to get to the Super Bowl?
Does it say win the NFC West?
It says future. It says conference winner.
So you got
NFC conference.
So you got to win the whole conference.
But fuck, if they get through their division, then I do a hedgy.
Yeah, but then you got a team
like
the Detroit Lions that are just staring at
them, but then I hammer the Lions.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They get a line on DK Sportsbook for how many Sudafeds Sean McVay takes before a game. It's got to be north of 4. No,
he's pumped up
on Mountain. Oh my God,
he's pumped up.
His eyes,
he's fired up. Yeah,
he's absolutely bugging out like the guy at fucking Delilah on a Saturday night, just sitting at the bar.
Oh. Who's the best team in the NFL right now, boys? If you had to pick a winner, I think we're halfway through the year. The trade deadline, I believe, was yesterday. Who's the best team?
I'd say it's Balti or Lions. It has to be those 2. But KC's perfect. Very fun.
Yeah, I know.
That's too super.
And they haven't even played great. Like the Chiefs haven't even played well yet. Really
played a lot of football, so that might come into But Andy Reid is just. I'd love to sit down and have beers with that guy and just have. I want him to have his play sheet
and a burger.
Yeah,
a burger and a beer.
I'd be like, what the fuck is on that play sheet that you just kick everyone's ass? Like, well, what is it? Just hey, you're fucking insane.
Well, the goddamn play sheet's it's the size of the fuck. It's bigger than him, and he's big red. He's big red,
but he's so focused all the time.
That thing's like a Cheesecake Factory menu, boys.
Yeah, it is.
Pages.
And it's funny. They closed the Cheesecake Factory at Fashion Island. I went over there the other. Yeah, I was like, well, maybe I'll take Mac Miller to Cheesecake Factory, and they had the big menus. Remember? Shout out to my mom and dad. Anytime they came to visit me, no matter where I played in the jungle or National League, where do you want to go for lunch? Cheesecake Factory. They give the old bedwetter Diet Coke. Remember how big the Diet Coke was there, Jay Swish? It's just a bedwetter.
I mean, you could eat at Cheesecake Factory for 10 years straight every single day, and you could order a new food item. It's literally that big. That menu is like an encyclopedia. It's crazy.
And the portions were just America.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean America. Like, just America. Like, America. I used to get the chicken Madeira. That's what was my go-to. Oh, yeah, with the asparagus on there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, chicken Madeira.
I was going to say, there was one dish I used to like.
And they wouldn't chinch you on the bread either. It was a fucking 10-pound meal. I come over there, I'm like, holy fuck, I was back on the bike.
It was either Maggiano's, P.F. Chang's, or cheesecake for my parents.
Yeah.
That they just loved it.
And my parents loved TGI Fridays, too, when I was in the jungle. Let's go to TGI Fridays.
Outback.
Blooming Onion at Outback there? Or what?
The steakhouse, like, I mean, it's so funny. Small-town Canadian kids coming to the U.S., like, with your parents for the first time, you're just blown away. But you're definitely not going for sushi, because no one eats.
No, my dad, I gave my dad a shrimp tempura roll. Fried fucking shrimp tempura roll with spicy mayo on it. And he like, oh, that's awful. I'm like, Dad, that's like a Big Mac of sushi. Like, you know, if you can't eat that, you're not having the old yellowtail fucking sashimi over here. Yeah.
No, but it's funny. But those, like, 4 could be the staple, like, chains that you'd always go to, right?
Big time. I was just had another chain that popped out of my head that they love too.
I mean, you got Chili's, you got Longhorn Steakhouse, you got the Rodeo House. They're all the same.
Hey, then you score 2 one night, and you're like, let's go to Morton's, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. I come to Toronto, Harbor 60. My first game in Toronto. I took my parents to Harbor 60.
A steakhouse.
They almost walked out. I'm like, just sit down. They're like, we can't eat. This is crazy. We can't eat this. This is too much. I'm like, Mom, Dad, just you're embarrassing us. First of all, have a seat here. Like let's just. I'm only doing this once. But they were like talking about small town. They couldn't believe that a steak was whatever it is at Harbor 60. I'm like, just eat it. Fucking be quiet. And then John Tortorella was there. My dad went up and talked to Torts. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, God. He went to take a piss. And he comes back. Torts, I'm like, oh, what is he saying over there? He's like, trying to get you on the power play. I'm like, just don't talk to Torts ever.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
DraftKings bets, baby. Listen, I think right now, Detroit Lions, I know they got to go through the Kansas City Chiefs. I got Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, Niners as my 4 teams. That's how you tickle the infield. But it just feels like Dan Campbell, Goff's playing great. Their offensive lines, I don't know. It just feels like it might be.
Seems like it's their year.
Right? And I'd have no problem with the Lions winning. I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I agree.
And this guy doesn't mind a beer. Get this guy a Labatt Blue up, dog.
Presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, boys, I'm dishing again. Am I dishing too many blue lights? Should I call it? I got another 12. I got another 12-pack here.
Massive dish, and I'm going to stick to just one dish.
Start it. You dish first.
My boy Jack Hughes spent a little time after pregame skate in Edmonton yesterday to say hi to his beloved fan, Grace, my niece. My brother Brento, shout out, took her to her first NHL game. They played incredible. Jack Hughes was all over the ice.
Easy money.
But it was so cool. And just shout out to Frosty. Both of you boys enjoy Labatt Blue
National League
because you're both legends. But just to goes to say, and I tweeted this, but hockey guys are the absolute best because of just moments where they take a little time out of their day on a game day like this to say hi to either a fan or to give someone a stick or to say hi to a little kid. It's what makes hockey, boys. What a beautiful sport. But shout out to Jack Hughes. Get this guy a beer. And just one more thing is happy birthday to my niece Avery today. She, I believe, turns 11. So I love you, girl.
You dishing any blue lights there, Swiss dog?
Yeah, I got 1, maybe 2. I'm going to start it off with Kirill Kaprizov, the Russian locomotive. 21 points in 11 games to start the season. 11 points in the last 5 games. I mean, get this guy a Labatt Blue. Maybe get him a side shot, a sidecar of some Russian vodka. Bartender, make that a double. So I got Kirill Kaprizov for my get this guy a blue light. Another guy coming back into the fold. He released a little bit of a PR statement. Media guru and legend Jeff Merrick is back into the mix.
Yeah.
Not sure what he's going to be doing next. Obviously had a little bit of a falling out at Sportsnet and 32 Thoughts. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if it was something that happened at the draft. We'll leave it at that.
Couldn't look at Elliot Friedman's forehead anymore. Maybe you couldn't look at Elliot Friedman's forehead anymore. That would do it for me. I'd be like, hey, I'm out of here. Fucking fix your head, bud.
I was going to say I can land a 747 on that thing, but that's besides the point. Again, Jeff Merrick is back in the fold. It's cool. He's an awesome guy. He is good people, boys. So Jeff Merrick, I'm not sure exactly what his next steps are in terms of getting back to the NHL and covering it, but it's good to see his chin is back. His silence is broken, and hopefully he can get a beer, settle in, and do what he does best.
Yeah, good for him. I've always been a fan of him.
Yeah.
Always been a fan of him. You kind of teed me up. Elliot Friedman was talking to Kipper, who's a beauty, and they're talking about Kirill Kaprizov. I was while watching the Wild Leafs game, and Elliot Friedman said that Kirill Kaprizov is going to get the same money as Leon Draisaitl, 14 bananas. He thinks that because of how valuable Kirill Kaprizov is to the Minnesota Wild, and how they've never had a player like this since Gaborik, and how the rest of their lineup is kind of meat and potatoes, that he holds all the cards, and that Billy Guerin. Now, Kirill Kaprizov could have a 100-point season or 120-point season, and then you're like, okay, it's not so out of this. But when they said $14 million to me, that seemed high to me, but I don't know.
I think, just to touch on that, I think if he goes to any organization, he's worth just that because he's explosive. All the eyes are on him. He wears the gold helmet. Well, he will be. He'd fuck him. Because he'd be leading their team in scoring. But you just, generational players like that who, the Russian, the speed, the strength, the creativity, the flash, like he's got all the tools, So if they don't pay him, and they're going to have to overpay him, but if they don't pay him, someone will, and that's going to be in his toolbox to keep. So I think Elliott's onto something. You know, these players don't come around very often, especially they don't come around to get to free agency. So he's going to have a chance to really hit a home run.
Yeah, I just think in terms of you got to keep him happy, Obi, right? In terms of you're Billy Guerin and what you have to give this guy to make him not even think about testing the market. So if it's 14 a year, if it's 13.5, whatever it is, you got to pay this guy, keep him happy. He's their most electric superstar they've had since Gabrick, and in my opinion, he's going to be a way better player than Gabrick was. Gabrick, obviously a 40-goal scorer a few times, but I just think Kaprizov, the way he protects the puck, the 10-2 on the hips, the way he can shoot it, explosive, he is the Russian locomotive, and whatever you have to pay him in Minnesota to excite the fans and to keep him happy, you do it.
Well, he's having a monster fucking year, by the way. He's got 21 and 11, 7 and 14 plus 12. How are you? And shout out to Billy Guerin, who's one of my favorite GMs. I thought this team had missed their window. I was like, fuck, they had a good run, you know. The Suchi and Parisi deal, having them up against the cap, maybe that, you know. But listen, I've watched, they played unbelievable against a very tired Leafs team, and they played 3 and 4. But I like this team. Faber on the back end was snapping it around. I mean, that guy's contract, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. That kid was going fucking crispy rice, spicy tuna. That kid can play. Us, Jay Swish?
Yeah, Faber in the back end. Yeah. University of Minnesota product, right shot. Last year he was lugging almost 30 minutes a night when they were shorthanded back there. He's calm. He's smooth. He can make a good first pass. A very heady player. He'll be on that Four Nations team. We'll see him up in Montreal. So he's a hell of a player, and that guy on the back end is your anchor, and Caprice up top running the forward unit. That's a good start there.
So listen, he's on pace for, 21 and 11. He's pace for like 150 points. Right?
Yeah, it's almost 2 points a game. Yep.
Yeah, he's not paying. I mean, if he gets 150 points, then yeah, give him $14 million. But like, you know, what's his best year right here? Here we go, boys. Holy fuck. He had 108 points in 2021-22. Wow.
Yeah, he's legit.
Last year he had 96 points, 75 games. So yeah, I guess that is, you know, that is Leon Draisaitl territory.
Hart Trophy and gets this team on a run. You're going to look at a lot of teams knocking on that $14 million offer sheet to see what's up.
If I was Kyle Davidson with the Chicago Blackhawks, I'd be already talking to his agent being like, we'll give you 14. Come on in here, Kirill the Thrill.
Hartman. Yeah. I love Hartman. No.
Yeah. No, and listen, Hartman tried the reverse Michigan the other night. They almost pulled it off. Story the goal. He had to get it up here. But right now it's Kirill Kaprizov, Marco Rossi, Max Zuccarella is their top line. Johansson, Eriksson Ek, Boldy, Goudreau, Foligno, Hartman, Lacko, I don't know this guy's name, and this other training kid they got. But listen, their team is built with, like you said, no real fucking flashy guys besides Kirill the Thrill, but man, they're playing the right way. And on the back end, fucking Bogosian, Middleton, you got to give these guys credit. Brodin and Spurgeon, were great the other night. I don't know, man. And they got 2 good goalies. And they're fun to watch. I've watched them play a couple times this year.
Great play in overtime by that Spurgeon, by the way. This quick up. 2-0.
Yeah. Poor Max was trying to get it, and then it was going the other way, and fucking Boldy, spank, game over.
Yeah, it was just like, it was a quick play, and game over.
Great barn, too. I don't know how many games you played there, Jay Swiss, but I love the XL Energy. Still the same name,
I played the playoffs there one time. It was awesome.
I love that barn.
We beat them in 5 games. Magnus Purvi, double overtime goal to put them out. But it was
pure.
Yeah, but an incredible experience. Their fans are great. It's a great city. I like Minnesota, man. I think that was a great place to play. Those guys all loved it.
Great visiting,
good ice,
great visiting room, big and lots of room. Fucking, you can really get in there and get a stretch going. You know, like it's a nice little facility all around. Walk over from the St. Paul, grab your coffee, walk in.
Had a few nights at that St. Paul, but
yeah, I'm pulling for these guys.
Thin walls at the St. Paul.
Yeah, bad shower heads too. Fuck, I just shower at the rink when I woke up there. I just pull my toque on, go shower at the rink. Yeah.
It's dry.
Unless I went to rub one out before the game, then I'd maybe jump in the shower. But typically, just shower at the bar.
Before the game rubbed out.
Sometimes I want to feel light. If I wanted to feel, if I wasn't, see how I was feeling, I feel a little light going out.
A little extra tape on the stick.
Yeah, exactly. Get this guy a Labatt Blue. I'm dishing, boys. First of all, shout out to the Florida Panthers. 2-0 over in Finland. Barkey. I'll tell you what, all the Finnish guys, get them all a blue light. I think they all scored. All 6 of them or something scored. The Finnish people are great people, great fan base. But these boys walking in a bathrobe for the fucking Florida Panthers and a sauna thing, I thought that is Finland to the T. So, boys, get yourself on the bat. Blue, up dog. This one's for you. Alex Ovechkin, baby. Don't sleep on him breaking the record this year. 5 goals. I think he must have heard Missin Curfew and heard up dog chirp him about the empty netters, right? He must put it on his Porsche on the way to the rink. He's got 5 goals last 4 games. He's 37 away from Gretzky. He's on pace for 52. Ovi, get yourself a Labatt Blue, up dog. I think he took it personally.
I know he did, Obes, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. That's why we talk here. People are listening, especially the players. And for him, listen, I think, is he 37 now? I'm reading, or is it 30?
He's probably 45 though, really, in his real age.
No, but no, but I'm saying away. Like how many?
He's
is he not 35?
37 goals away.
Okay, well, I mean, listen.
And he's on pace for, if he keeps his pace up, he breaks it this year, fella.
I know, and I said he wasn't going to get over 25, and he's just sticking.
Well, he can still get hurt. I mean, listen.
No, that's not how he's not going to do it. I just thought maybe it's going to be just a long year, and like their power play won't click, and he's not going to get the looks. But fuck, he stands over there, and I mean, we posted it, and you even said on X, but he still just stands there with his stick up, and it still works.
Yeah.
It's an insane position.
Because nobody wants to block it because it's fucking going like this, and you don't know where it's coming, and it's whizzing by your ear, and you're like...
Because it's coming. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of him, but well done. Enjoy a couple Labatt.
Well, you got him going, so, I mean, well, you must be listening to Missin Curfew. Boys, help me out with this French guy's name, Alex Laferriere. How do you say it, Switch Dog? Is that how you say it?
You nailed it. That's the dismount. 1 for 1 there, Obi.
Okay, he's got 8 goals. He's playing with Kopitar. By the way, Kopi looks great. These LA Kings old school uniforms, you want to talk about doing some fucking boys. These uniforms are unbelievable. But listen, I saw this kid come up last year, and this is for any of the boys that are out in the American League or Coast or whatever. He got called up. He was a 4th-line mucker. He did what it took. He got in a fight in his first game. I think his first pro fight. He got in the NHL. He stuck around all year. Now he's playing with Kopitar because he got an opportunity. He's got a great release, 8 goals. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. And listen, I took the LA Kings not to make the playoffs, and we'll see. But right now they're playing really, really good hockey. Their goaltending is, I'm going to get to that in my milk carton, but I'll tell you what, this team is playing LA Kings hockey and find a way to get it done, man.
Old school LA hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And just to back on Ovi, he's 35 away. He's got 860 goals. 35 away. And that is doable. That is scary. Then LA, listen, they went into Nashville, spanked them. They're a big team. Big team. Yeah. Kopitar's like resurged. He's like, you want to play with a guy like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Turtleneck and all. Fuck, that turtleneck looks hot he's wearing. You see that thing? It's up to here, man. That's got to be hot, no?
I just like the way he's always played. I've always loved that.
Oh, yeah, he's a beast. I mean, and next time you watch these guys, look at these jerseys, boys. They look so sick. And they got the old school Kings logo at Staples. It's just beautiful.
Wait till Doughty comes back.
Have you guys seen this Brant Clark as well, this young defenseman that Nashville had along the wall?
I'm glad you brought him up.
He's got 12 points in 13 games. It'll be 1 + 11. I mean, he skates a little bit different, I would say. I don't think it's a bad stride. I don't think it's the best skating ability, but his poise with the puck, his offensive instincts, man, he looks really good, especially on the top of the key in the power play and just some of the heady plays he's making, especially from the blue line in on the offensive side.
Absolutely. He's a 3-on-3 nightmare to play against him. He's jumping in the play. I'm with you. When he first came up last year, I believe, I watched him play World Juniors. His boots I thought were slow, but he has the old 10-2, the hips. He can open the hips up almost like Cale Makar, not quite as Shakira as that. But I'll tell you what I've watched him grow, and this is shout out to Stoley and Greener and player development, he's starting to realize that move the puck quick. Give it to fucking Kopitar and go. Give it to your D partner and go. Like when he first got to the National League, I'm like, he's hanging on for it too long, trying to be Drew Doughty. And, even Doughty, as he, matured, move it quick and jump. So I'm with you. They have Brent Clark and Spence. To me, they're the same player, Swish. I'm like, Brent Clark's probably a lot more offensive, but to me, if you could maybe move that Spence, because he is a prospect, for maybe something else you need. But I'm with you. Brent Clark has really impressed me, man. His ability to jump in the play and move the puck, it's as good as I've seen.
Yeah, he was their 8th overall pick in 2021, and that play he had around Pietrangelo the other week against Vegas, where he collected the puck just inside the blue line off the wall. He did like a silhouette turn, kind of spinorama move, a little dish to the back door to Kopitar. I mean, that play, that's all-star level, right there.
That was nasty. Where he pulled it just inside the blue line. How are you? Yeah, that was dirty.
6'2", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
He's got some size on him.
Yeah.
6'2", 200 pounds, 14 PIMs.
No,
he looks like a kid.
Yeah, he is.
He's born in 2003. Is that not just
crazy? You know what? And then not that Blakey gives a fuck what I have to say, and I love Blakey. And last year I was hard on him over the Pierre-Luc Dubois deal. You got him.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the Kings, like, it's just their whole organization. I mean, they just continue to, like, their rebuild was quicker than anyone thought. This year, myself and some other people that do this for a living thought they'd take a step back. They're just, once again, playing LA Kings hockey. And this is without Drew Doughty. When you add Drew Doughty back in the lineup and you take the Spence kid out or bump somebody down, they're not going anywhere is what I'm saying. They're not going. We got to get up to Staples for a game, too. Bear with me here, boys. Thomas Hertl, 500 points. Get yourself a Labatt Blue. I just wanted to say this guy's starting to find his game. His legs are there. He's hitting that little honey hole, that little pop-out soft area on their power play. Their power play is lights and day better. Lights and day? Day? Their power play is a lot better. Night and day. Thanks, fella.
Fuck, you had me fucked up there.
That's fucking D. Way to hinge for me, bud. Way to hinge for me. Their power play is night and day better than it was the last 3 years. T-Rex is not having a fucking heart attack every time he watches him play. Hertl's a big reason. He has that soft spot. His legs are starting to come. We've talked about Vegas a lot, but this guy I think is going to be the exact player they want. And for me, I got two more here, boys. Let's go Leon Draisaitl first. 6 points in 2 games. They lost last night, but what I'm just going to say is he did exactly what everyone probably figured he would do. McDavid goes out. He comes out. 2 big games. McDavid's back on the ice. I seen him doing drills. This is where I was going with this, and I want your guys' opinion. Updog, we'll start with you. I think McDavid, not that this is going out on a limb, but I think McDavid's going to come back. He's going to be flying. He's going to feel even better. And the Oilers are going to go on a fucking run, and I'm going to jump on him on DraftKings. But I think this is going to be a blessing in disguise for 97 coming back.
I would agree. You mentioned it earlier. They played a lot of hockey last year, especially McDavid. But I always go back when situations like this happen. This used to happen to the Pittsburgh Penguins back in the day when Crosby, he went through years of the concussion issues. And just imagine what Crosby would have done if he stayed healthy. But Malkin would always pick up the pace for the whole team. It would either be it would be him stepping up. It would be Kessel stepping up in times like that. It would be, back in the day they had.
But Malkin, you're right. Malkin would do that every time.
Be the best player in the league. Yeah. Be the best player on the ice consistently. And that was maybe just what these good players do. They're like wired to be like, you know what? I got to pick up. This is how the game works. When my star fucking line mate's out, it's now on me. Guys follow my back now, and they're able to elevate their game because of just how they are as people. And Leon Draisaitl is the same guy. I love the way this guy plays. He plays strong. He plays tough. He doesn't have the quickest boots until he does, and you're like, holy fuck, this guy's just moving faster than everyone. But
great style too. His style's so good.
Just, you know what? And he got paid, and he still fucking goes out and plays hard, and that's what I love. And eventually these guys are going to win. But at times when your star goes down, guys like that's got to pick it up, and they found ways to get points in the last 3 games.
Yeah, I just think, don't you guys think when you're in the locker room like that, when your star player goes down and now everyone's looking around and it's like, okay, well, now he's up. And it's their chance for these guys to really elevate their play and become the go-to guy, that number one guy. Yes, they're still league-wide all-stars, but now they're the number one guy, the undisputed in the room, and it's their chance to really showcase, okay, I got to elevate my play. But speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, boys, just my question to you, I think they need a right-shot defenseman over there.
Fuck, do they ever. They need 2 of them. They need 2 of them. Get in shape, bud. When you get back over here, get back on the bike. We get you fucking maybe up in Edmonton because they need 2 right-handed D-men, if you ask me.
You and Shaddy.
Shaddy?
Here. Come on, Shaddy. He's been at home in the Hamptons. He's fucking skating. Let's go. Hey?
Yeah, they need one, boys.
Get those boots ready.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And you know what? I'm going to throw out a name here because Hakanpää is going to come back for the Leafs. And this is a kid that I've loved. Connor Timmins. He's playing top 6 right now with Berube, but the Leafs are up against it. And Hakanpää is going to come back, and they need him in the lineup from a PK perspective. But for me, a guy like Connor Timmins, like Jay Swiss, I don't know what you think about him, but he would be an upgrade to, no disrespect to Troy Stetcher and the other kid, Ambrose or whatever his name is. Never even heard. Yeah, thank you. But I think that would be an upgrade for him. And that's just a name that I've heard maybe is available once Hakanpää comes back because the Leafs are up against it. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah, and they just acquired Matt Benning over from the San Jose Sharks, so they really have a plethora of right-shot defensemen. I like Timmins' game. I don't know how it would be when the game gets tough and you really got to go shag pucks and wear hits over a 7-game series in the Western Conference for big boy hockey. But if you're just looking at those names in terms of Emberson, I think he's definitely an upgrade. Stetcher, that's my guy. He's just a junkyard dog. You know what you're going to get. He's going to be the first back on the puck. He's going to take hits, but maybe, not make plays like Timmins could. So, yeah, I don't mind that pickup, Obi. When the game would get tough, that would be my only question.
Yeah, and the only listen, Troy Stetcher's proved me wrong. When he first came up with Greener in Vancouver, I was like watching these games being like, this guy's got no chance. Undersized, can't skate. But he gives it everything he has, and he's continued to be an NHL journeyman because of that. But his lack of size is what I don't love about Troy Stetcher. And Connor Timmins brings a little more size, could probably skate just as well as Stetcher. But, I mean, anytime you can bring Stetcher into your locker room and his work ethic is going to rub off on other guys. But just he's undersized to me. But the Edmonton Oilers, Stan Bowman's going to have to – their right side is thin. The opposite of me. It's the opposite of me, boys. Last but not least, and get this guy Labatt Blue. Get him more than Labatt Blue. Get him a fucking Crown Royal Jameson. My boy, the Fact Daddy, finally got his first NHL tilt. I'll tell you what, he fucking came in, no visor, started chucking, pulled him down, got another one. And then I saw an interview after, said it's the worst game he's played in the history of the NHL. So maybe that's why he got no foul. But Fact Daddy, get yourself a blue light. Keep your head up. I love it, up dog.
It was great. I sent it over to you. I didn't quite see how the game went, but I did read his quotes. And that's just a leader. That's just a leader taking on some responsibility. And I think he said it best. It's time they get on the road and they get to playing some good road, dirty hockey and find their game out there with the boys, after a game, having a pint and figuring out their shit.
Yeah, they can't win at home.
Yeah, they can't win at home.
They're like 1-6 at home or something.
But listen, you can't be an NHLer and not, win a Conn Smythe, a Stanley Cup, and not have a good tilt. And he's got his good tilt now.
Yeah, I know he was chucking them. So, Fact Daddy, good on you. Get a blue light in you, fella. It is milk carton time here at Missin Curfew. And this is how it works at Missin Curfew. I'll pump you up, and I'll bring you right the fuck back down here. The LA Kings, Saturday, I had a parlay with the fucking Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings playing the Chicago Blackhawks at home. And I'm putting Darcy Kemper on the milk carton. He did have a shutout last night against Nashville Predators. Didn't affect me because I had no money on that game. 19. He had 3 goals on 19 shots, boys. And before I bet it, I was just like, minus 270. If it was Riddick in net, I'd be okay with it. But like Kemper, fuck it, I'm still going to bet it. And it came back to bite me, so maybe I should put myself on the milk carton. But Darcy Kemper, 3 goals on 19 shots. And then Jay Swish in the shootout, it wasn't even close. Bedard put his jockstrap up by Kobe Bryant's tarp. Taravana went spink-dink on him. And then Randonato put his jockstrap up by Shaq O'Neal's jersey. It was not good enough. He's on the milk carton for me, man. You can't be costing me minus 270, bro.
Yeah, he was absolutely Swiss cheddar on that one. I did catch a glimpse of that, especially that one that Bedard just absolutely wired by him. But, yeah, my milk carton of the week is actually a tweet I threw out earlier, about 2 days ago, was the EA Sports guy, whoever did the real Rocket Talk It dirty with that cul-de-sac on top of his coconut in terms of his head. Oh, my God. I mean, that was a suburban Detroit cul-de-sac, 5-bedroom, 4-car garage. You got a pool and a pond in the back. The pond will be good for you, Obi. And I just thought the real Rocket, I mean, that guy is shaving his head religiously. He has a 5 o'clock shadow on that thing. He throws the old Gillette extra sensitive foam and he gets that Bic out and he starts going to work and shines it up. So whoever did the real Rocket dirty like that with the cul-de-sac, man, get your ass on the milk carton. That was Bush League. The real Rocket, no Diddy, is a good-looking dude.
Oh, yeah.
They made him look out to be like a fucking middle school, social studies teacher. So that wasn't perfect.
I saw your post about that on X. It's starting to get some traction, too. Some other people are starting to jump on it. But, yeah, Talks takes care of that.
What did he do to that guy?
Fuck. Talks doesn't care. But, yeah,
he doesn't care.
He looks like he never lets it grow out that long. He takes care of it. He gets in the steamer, takes care of it.
I know the one time we saw him in Van, he had the Bic scars.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you used one of the team razors, eh? It wasn't perfect. He's like, yeah. Okay, like those old school fucking one bladers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You can't shave with those that are
you can't shave the fucking melon with the one blader.
You can't even shave your face.
Especially your nuts. You cannot touch those.
I used to hate guys that shave their nuts in the shower, the team shower. Like, come on, take care of that at home. No, that's gross.
I mean, you risk ripping that thing right off with those ones.
I learned early you can't even shave your face. I remember after one game when I was young in the league, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to shave up before I go out here. I left the rink with toilet paper everywhere. I'm like, almost couldn't go out. I was like, that's fucking lesson learned. Lesson learned there.
She looks down. She's like, what the?
Yeah, it was all just, you can't shave it.
Be right across the bar, you go, holy fuck, fella, you get in a fight with a scissor?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. It was awful. But Bubble Bedard, I want to talk about him because I watched him play for 60 minutes against the Kings, and he was awful. He didn't touch the puck. But then that 3-on-3 started, and he got it in his hands, and you could see he went from like being like that to like up dog and hide back in the day. Like he went, okay, now this is my fresh. He went backhand toey around, I don't know who it was. I can't remember the D-man. Bing post should have ended it there, and he had 2 or 3 more chances that were just, I mean, when he gets the puck in his hands, he is that electric. But I'm telling you, I watched him for 60 minutes, and I wasn't impressed. But
So Team Canada makes 3-on-3 team for the next Olympics. He's on that one.
if he's on any 3-on-3 team in the world,
Yeah. You give him a little bit of ice.
he can wear his bubble too in that one too. You can throw the bubble
a little
back.
bit of ice and some time and some, you got to deal with flat feet.
Yeah,
He's good. But yeah, you're right. So far in traffic, being able to kind of stop, start, explode, find that open ice, he's lacks. But he lacks, and you know this, Schwiz, he lacks people around him that are making plays, that draw people around them so he get open. It's tough for him.
I don't
to
think
do
that's the
everything
reason
else.
this year.
I-
He's playing with Foligno and fucking that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
although their best line the other night was their best line. He's playing with Ryan Donato and Kurashev. That Donato's not a bad little player. I mean, who do you want him to play with? You want to play with McDavid and Draisaitl? He's supposed to be the guy. He's the next coming of Christ. McDavid at 19 was fucking lighting this league up.
He had Draisaitl.
At 19? I think they were on the team the same, but I'm going to say that Bedard's numbers are not as good as McDavid's.
No, McDavid is McDavid. And Bedard is, you're right, he's supposed to be, the next coming. But
So who would
he
you
doesn't
like
have
him to
anyone
who would you like him to play with? I mean, like who's a guy that you think would like help his game? Kirill Kaprizov would help his game.
yeah, big time. Zibanejad or the fucking Panarin.
He needs
Yeah.
a big center.
He's a center
Shake.
iceman.
Someone to drive the middle of the ice to kind of open up the walls. You know how it is, boys. When you have that big centerman like Kopitar driving through the middle of the ice,
Kopi.
now you can make those. Little
He's a
plays,
centerman
right?
too. So you want him on the wing, boys, or what? You want him on the wing?
Kadri.
I want him on the wing.
Kadri's a center too.
I like that, yeah. Well, fucking
Bedard's playing center right now. So you guys would think he's going to be a better winger than he is a centerman, or
I think
like
he should play
better
wing
get
right
his-
now.
You think he should play wing right now?
he better get his boots moving. When you got to get those boots moving?
I don't mind this Blackhawks team, and they've been costing me money. They're like, listen, Nick Foligno, take him on my team any day of the week. Bertuzzi, as bad as his style is, he finds a way to get it done. Teravainen's been a nice pickup. Big rig, Craig Smith. Craig Smith is a right-handed guy.
Great.
If you're
Fucking journeyman, Tom.
come deadline, somebody is coming knocking for that guy because he can still skate, can still shoot, and competes. And as slow as the big rig is out there, he's playing well, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like
McDavid had 30 goals, 70 assists when he was 19, 100 points, and his most common line mates were Draisaitl, Patrick Maroon, Milan Lucic, and Jordan Eberle that season.
how many points did Draisaitl have that year? So he's playing with Maroon. Big rig, though. Good hands. Go say that.
Big Rig almost had 30 that year.
Yeah, playing with McDavid. I'm just saying, when you're a generational talent, like I've heard about this kid's going to be, you're supposed to make everyone else better around you, aren't you? You can't be like he's got nobody to play with. Like, I would give you that last year to a certain extent, but to me, and I get it, he's only 19 years old, and I've been hard on this kid because when you have that much hype, like, I figure, like, you should be McDavid, McKinnon. Like,
Draisaitl, 29 goals, 48 assists, 77 points.
okay, that's solid.
Yep.
No, and I guess, listen, he's getting his peeper time, so he should be scoring goals. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to put the puck in the net. Like, half the game's spent 5-on-4, so there is no excuse because he's a power player.
Just watch him next time. Watch a full one of his game. Watch him 60 minutes and be like, and then you're like, oh, you know what? You're too hard on the kid. And maybe I am. I'm sure he's a great kid. I just got high expectations as, a guy who's drafted 250th overall and had to work for everything to get. And this kid's been given everything on a fucking silver platter. And now we're saying he doesn't have good players to play with. It's like, I think it's on him, but he is leading their team in scoring. So as much as I'm bagging on him, he is leading their team in scoring.
10 points?
I think he's got 2 goals, 12 assists.
And maybe he's more on a development plan like Alexei,
Lafreniere.
Lafreniere.
Yeah.
Where it takes him 2-3 years in the league to kind of come out and blossom in what he is and figure out the league. Maybe he's just not McDavid when he steps in and he's just a league-wide all-star. So I don't know.
No, and it's hard to be McDavid and McKinnon and Draisaitl. I'm not saying it's fucking easy. I'm saying it's hard, but like, you talk about Lafreniere, like, no, that was COVID. No training camp, no preseason, got jumped right in there. But I'm with you. After I watched him play World Juniors, I thought Lafreniere would jump in and be a fucking a difference maker right away, Jay Swish. And it took him a while, and now he's there. And I'm sure Bedard's going to get there. I'm sure he is. It's just like, this kid came out of it like the next, and I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but
You know what? Think about Lafreniere too. Like he was a first overall pick, but he got into a team that didn't have like a building process. They were already still really fucking good. They didn't miss a beat, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, you can't find your game, but you have to sit back and watch your star players, the older guys, fucking play hard. You're winning games. You're not just like, going out there making mistakes and creating bad habits. And unfortunately, Bedard's in that spot where it's a rebuild. he's still going out there and playing. He's getting all these minutes, and they're not winning games. It's a tricky sort of spot where all players, first overall picks, find themselves in different spots, right? It's hard, but it's nice to be around guys that Bedard's like looking up to. Like, I want to play with this guy because he's fucking better than me. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really have that.
I mean, Taylor Hall won a Hart Trophy. He's got Taylor Hall on his team.
Didn't play it like he won a Hart Trophy a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely better players that we can think of.
But when I say that, I say it just as with due respect. Like, these guys, some players are just have better fucking talent and history than others.
Well, there's no question. When he gets the puck on a stick, look the fuck out. I mean, when he gets it, it is he's looking to take ice, and he can change the angle, and he's got one of the best releases I've ever seen. It's the rest of the game that I guess will come with time, and Luke Richardson's the guy to do it. I've been hard on Bubble Bedard, but I'm going to continue to be hard on him because I think he's just, everything's been just like, oh, hey, this guy's going to be the next fucking,
Totally.
But he did win the Calder, and he is the leading goal scorer for the Chicago Blackhawks. And listen, I like the way they're playing right now. I want to give Luke Richardson a lot of credit. They compete. They got veteran guys on the back end. They're goaltending. That Peter Mrazek, by the way, if you need a goaltender, I mean, that guy to me, Jay Swish, he's always kicking.
Yeah, Pistol Pete. I mean, some would say he saves more than Slovakian Jesus. You know what I mean? So he's playing pretty well. He's kicking back there. He's always been a solid 1B, 2 option. He's been a starter in the league. Yeah, he's quiet back there. He makes a good save. I don't know a ton about goalies. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pretend like I'm some goalie guru, but every game I watch, he's keeping them in it for sure.
Yeah, I'm just going off of when I bet against them. He's always making saves. And I'm like, this motherfucker, that's a point-blank save again. Shout out to a couple beauties that listen to Missin Curfew, though. Last week when I was ripping Bedard, which I guess is a weekly occurrence here, they bet him to score the next game, and he scored. They're like, boys, they hit me up like, fuck, thanks, Obes. After you ripped Bedard, I went out and put an anytime goal scorer on DraftKings, and he hit. I'm like, there you go, boys. Maybe I'm just jealous. Maybe I'm just fucking jealous of him, boys. Maybe I'm just jealous of him. This would be a good player to play with him. He can stay on the program. Big Val Nichushkin. Take him off the milk carton, boys. He's back. Saw him dusting it off out there. In all seriousness, I'm hoping this guy can figure it out. He's such a great player for the Avalanche. Kyle said Lekkonen's coming back, so I wanted to take the big Val, the big train off the milk carton. Good luck, buddy. We're pulling for you at Missin Curfew. And last but not least, your boy, Macklin Falabrini. Take him off the milk carton. He's playing tonight. I watched him play opening night, Jay Swish, and he's got jump. He's exciting. We need this kid to stay healthy for the Sharks and for the Greater Manitoba League. I can't wait to watch this guy play night in, night out. I hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah, Falabrini back in the mix, and obviously Will Smith getting a couple goals to go along with that, so he's getting started. It'd be interesting to see what they're going to do with those guys. Right now, Will Smith obviously being load managed a little bit in terms of they're picking games to what he's going to play, similar to Leo Carlsson last year in Anaheim. So always good to see Falabrini back in the mix. I'm hoping he comes in fresh out of the gates, gets one early, gets going, and he feels good about his game, because when you're young, you got to feel good over the puck, and hopefully that's the case for him.
Yeah, well said. And speaking of Will Smith, you teed me right up for our Jager Iciest Shot of the Night, presented by Jagermeister. Best served at the 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Damn, that's cold. Check Jagermeister out, www.DraftKingsXJagermeister.com.
Fella.
Cheers up, dog.
Cheers.
Swish. Fella.
Boys, cheers.
Doss boots over there, fella. Doss boots.
Oh my God! I was walking around Old Town this morning, and this girl pulls out a little bottle of Jager, a little shooter, right out of her purse at 9:30 in the morning when I just landed, and she takes a shot, just swigs it right down, and kept walking. I was thinking of you fellas in the studio, slamming them some of those early mornings we had. So just find your pocket early, find the buzz, eh?
Damn, that's cold. I'll tell you what. Yeah, when it comes out of that 0 degree Fahrenheit in Kansas City, when I woke up, I had an Irish coffee with Jay Swish. I got to that thing, had a couple cold Jagers. It was nice. It had to be back in the game. I'm like, I'm back, baby. Let's go.
You had a couple, and Heat Daddy had about 25.
Yeah, God bless him. Tarp off. God bless him.
But after like 10 with them, I was feeling I probably could have done just as many.
I was going to say, Uppy, you were keeping pace with
yeah.
As a good veteran you are, I was very impressed. So I forgot to give you your clicks for that. That was impressive, because you were turning them down every time he came back. He's like, you want another one? He's like, you're just like, yeah.
Guy can't spell no. AJ Swish guy can't spell no. Will Smith, first NHL goal. For his first two the other night were unbelievable, but his first one is our Jager Iciest Shot of the night. He gets it, pops out again, boys, and absolutely rips one cheese. And his second one was even more barred down. So Will Smith, congrats, fella. Welcome to the club. I got 13 career ones. I can say that. But damn, that's cold up, dog. This guy's release is National League, man. Those two goals were unbelievable.
First of many. Can't wait to see him and Falabrini just absolutely shred up the ice together. The fans of San Jose, you got some fun hockey to watch.
The kid looks like he's fucking 12 years old out there, this Will Smith, Jay Swish. He looks so young on the ice. But these kids nowadays and these high picks, and as much as I bag on Bedard, his release is unbelievable. And this Will Smith can shoot the puck as good as anyone I've seen, man. It was off his stick and bar down. How are you?
Yeah, these Gen Z kids, I mean, these TikTok generation, the way they can shoot the puck, it's like they were built in a factory in terms of, they skate all summer. These guys are skating 6-7 days a week. They're working with a shooting coach, a skating coach. They have built-in shooting areas at their houses. Like, these guys and the way the game is evolved just strictly on a shooting aspect of it, forget the skill. It's crazy, man. And he's one of those examples. And, him and fella Brady back in the mix, I hope they can at least get San Jose, to a decent spot, in around the deadline so they can sell some of their pieces and not just, go off into the sunset and win like 15 games this year. So hopefully those boys can kind of turn around and be a bright spot up in Northern California.
Yeah, he's playing tonight with Granlund, Felabrini, and Tyler Toffoli. Is that a better wingers than Bedard's playing with? Is that better players than Bedard's playing with?
I don't think Chicago has a goal scorer like Toffoli.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean that's the player for Bedard. And I think Granlund's had a great start to the season. He's fucking probably been their best player. He's been all over the ice.
He broke my heart in that hockey club game. He was one of the reasons they came back in 5 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, he was.
Sharks are hot. They won 3 straight, eh? They're hot.
Fuck.
We got to get on them
to win 8 games. So, shit.
Barclay Goodrow's another guy on that team that, we need to get him out of there. We need to get him back to
Barclay Goodrow.
Yeah, he's a playoff guy.
Yeah, he is.
2-time cup winner.
Yeah, he's a playoff guy. So back up the Brinks truck, boys. Beep, beep, beep. Back her up. From the young fellas to the old fuckers like us. Here we go. Tyler Johnson, 1 year, $775 in Boston. Spent the month of October as a practice player down in Providence. I've had some low times, right? Skating with, Chris Johnson's fucking midget team out here when I was trying to get a deal. But that's got to be a low point when you're just a practice player for the Providence Bruins at the old Dunkin' Donuts Center. They signed him. I love it. Welcome back. I wanted to parlay it into your boy Monty. He's not fucking around this year. He benches Marchand, sits Pasternak down for the whole third. There was rumor that the seat was getting hot there for Monty in Boston. They've won 2 straight of late. I picked them to win the Eastern Conference. I think they're going to come out of it. But you got to respect a coach that says, hey, I'm going to sit you down.
And I think the way the players handle it means that they deserve it. And quite frankly, you don't get that with younger guys nowadays, I don't think, from outside looking in. And we talk hockey every week. We have a heartbeat on the league. You see it with some young guys not being able to take the heat. But what the Boston leaders have done when shit gets out of hand is they accept the criticism, they accept the role. And Schwizzy, you know this, like, they're not getting fucking healthy scratched. They're just getting called out. It's a little different when you're like, hey, get on the line after practice today. You're not fucking playing. You're like, fuck. These guys are just being like, listen, we're supposed to be better. We're our fucking best guys. Our team sucks. And quite frankly, like, the coach, yes, lean on me. Fucking chirp me. I'll fucking step up. It's a good challenge, Swishy, right?
Yeah, and it goes a long way in the locker room, too, because not only is he holding his top players to a certain standard, that bleeds throughout the entire lineup. When you're making 11 in a hook, like Pasta, and you have a couple bad turnovers, you got to be able to answer to the man. And if that is sitting down and getting benched for a period, so be it. And in the media, he was a professional about it. I'm sure around his teammates, he was the same. And that goes a long ways, especially in winning cultures, as you guys know. So they both took it on the chin. They did well. And in this day and age, that's looked at as like being a bully, or it's like, why is he hitting them on the butt? It's like, dude, this is professional sports. This is a hard fucking league, and it's a results-driven business. And if you don't show up, there are repercussions. So good on Monty, good on the fellas in terms of the players, and the show goes on. It's a long season.
Yeah, and I love Monty. I got to meet him with you at the All-Star game. That was funny when you were like, fuck, I made that team, Monty. I'm like, Updog still talks about him, Monty. He's like, yeah, I would have taken him. Back when he was boozing there, he's like, I would have taken him. I would start applying a little pressure to Elias Lindholm here. I love that Marshy and Pasta take it on the chin. Marchand's arguably one of the best captains in the league right now. But the honeymoon stage is over for Lindholm here. You got 8 years, gave whatever he wanted. He needs to get going a little bit. I'm concerned about the Bruins. They look slow to me, boys. And I don't think they're going to get any faster. And it's almost a thing like, if they get in, I think look out for them. But like, I'm a little worried about their team speed to get in the dance. I think if they get in there, once it's a man's game, but to me, watch them early on this season, I've watched them quite a bit of times, 4 or 5 games. especially against the Leafs and some other teams that can scoot. They've looked slow to me. So that's my concern for the Bees. And I got my money on a DraftKings.
I wouldn't count these guys out.
No.
They're in it every year. They got a great goalie. Obviously their coaching is a pretty respected coaching staff. These guys are going to figure their shit out, and it's a long year. We're an 8th into the season. These boys will figure it out. They're all pros over there. Marchand's a great captain. They have a great back end. They're big.
Yeah.
They'll figure out their game.
And another thing is Swayman's numbers are fucking in the toilet. And that's like that whole thing of him missing training camp. That to me was just like, why you guys get this done? Because he's been terrible. Korpisalo's kicked the last couple times he's been in there. He played unbelievable. But once I'm with you, they're going to get going. But to me, they look slow. Matty, I know you're living and dying with the Boston Bruins out there. Last but not least, boys, we are less than 100 days from Four Nations Cup. We will be there. Billy Guerin, the GM of Team USA, which say what you want, there could be the favorites. He said this: we find ourselves laughing sometimes because we're nitpicking over players we'd all kill for to have on our NHL rosters. And I just thought, listen, all three of us have been in that situation where GMs are looking at us like, I don't want O'Brien. He's getting a little slow. He's, got to grab the short fork, this and that. But these guys, these superstar guys, now are getting a little feel of, Billy Guerin going through whoever it is being like, maybe he doesn't fit here. But he's a superstar in the NHL.
They've never been told, no, you're not on the team, ever. Yeah. And this is a very unique spot. And actually, it's an incredible spot to be in. They should all, whether you're on the bubble there or not, boys, just enjoy this because, just to be considered to be on those teams is insane. And for the guys that do get picked, go fucking battle your asses off. It's going to be an incredible time. We're going to be there. Montreal.
We're going to be drunk as a skunk, Jay Swift.
How are you?
Oh, my one rock old fashions right into the local cabaret. After one thing I wanted to ask you guys, though, as a GM, if you're Billy Guerin or you're Doug Armstrong working with Hockey Canada, are you building your team to win one game, or are you building it like a Stanley Cup team? Because obviously the format is completely different. So are you looking at more so building a heavy top six with a checking line and then a fourth line with your penalty killers, or is it just the best 12 to 13 forwards available and as well as 7 defensemen? Because I think there's still got to be roles on this team, boys. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have role players because you get too many superstars and too many cooks in the kitchen. Now things can kind of go sideways a little bit. So I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's going to come down to injuries, obviously, whoever's healthy. And then because it's such a short tournament, you got to take who's hot, right? If you're leading into the tournament and somebody is on an absolute heater, Zach Hyman, for example, I'm just throwing him out there. He got off to a slow start. He's probably going to be on the team either way, maybe a bad example. But somebody that's absolutely lighting it up, because it's such a short tournament and you need guys firing right away, I think that plays into it. But they have a game plan of roles and where they want to be. And I think they already know who's going to be on their team. However, I think if you get hot here, a month before it, 2 weeks before it, they'll bump somebody if he's cold, just because they need guys humming, kind of like the Ryder Cup. You need guys coming in playing good golf.
And for some reason, I have this in my head, but you got to be a guy that can control yourself, right? Because a penalty here and there in these games is going to be heads up. If you're giving the U.S. team a penalty, and your team's built of all superstars, there's an issue. They're going to score. And if you're a guy that's plays just so hard, and whether it's a Tom Wilson, say he gets a chance, or whether it's you got to play within your, you can't be taking penalties. So that's going to.
I'm off the team.
Well, yeah.
O'Brien cut. But to answer
the question, Swishy, it's I want an energy line, but fuck, if they go and take a penalty, we're fucked. But they're an energy line that can also PK in big moments. They're the guys that will lay down and block shots. Is Connor McDavid laying down to block a shot? Is Stammer laying down to block a shot in PK? You're going to be asking some of these superstars to do things that maybe they don't do on a nightly basis in the NHL. And that's just where, when you have a jersey on like that, and no, they're not competing for an Olympic gold medal, but they are competing for something that hasn't been done in a long time, and that's best on best and playing for your country. But are they laying down blocking shots? Zach Hyman? Yes. But fucking, some of these other guys, it's a unique thing to ask them to do.
Yeah.
So would you want Cole Caulfield playing on your fourth line and second power play, or do you want Vinny Trocheck, who's going to be a fourth line option and also play center for you?
Trocheck.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I love Vinny Trocheck, though. I think Vinny Trocheck's got to be a slam dunk on that team, in my opinion. I love his game just because of what you said. And Caulfield's a pure sniper, but I'm taking Vincent Trocheck 10 out of 10 over Caulfield.
So then when you go to the Canadian side, do you want Sam Bennett and Tom Wilson in there in terms of a checking line and guys that can really hound the puck? Or are you going with more a skilled option, maybe slide even Steven Stamkos on that right side, fourth line, maybe a Ryan O'Reilly in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options, boys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because Uppy made a great point where you don't want some guy just absolutely going in there and over horny and blowing a guy up, and now you're suddenly you got to kill a 5-minute major in a single game.
No, that's not perfect. And like, there's some rumors about a guy like Brandon Hagel. You know, there's been people kicking their tires about him on the squad. And for me, Stammer's on my team. Factor's my fourth line center. I'm pledging for Tom Wilson, but a guy like Hagel, you know, who obviously Coop knows very well. You know, like there's just so many good players out there. And what's the guy up in Winnipeg? 55 there. I always fuck his name up.
Shifley.
I mean, we haven't mentioned him yet either, and he's on the best team in the NHL. You know, Matt Duchene, sneaky, having a good year in Dallas. He's not on my team, but Sorelli's another guy. Like, they got some tough decisions, both teams. But I can't wait to be there with you boys. I could do this all day with you, though. Jay Swish, what time is it over there, bro? What time? Nighttime or what time is it over there?
It's 11:40 local standard, and I am wide awake. I had a 3-hour pregame nap, so I don't know what I'm going to get up to here, boys. I might go sneak out. And see
Yeah,
what's going on
I'd say hit the streets. I'd say hit the streets.
Go for 1, stay for 2, home by 3. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jay Swish, thank you, buddy. Safe travels. Updog, you the man. Kyle Conway, Max Pick of All Pass Media, thank you. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.